because it says live. Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon, man. Good evening, everyone. It's 6 o'clock. This is our evening session with Chat with the Chief. We were on earlier today from 12 to 1. We had some good discussion, I thought, about some things going on in the department, some things that happened over the weekend, things happened last Friday, our graduation. We talked a little bit about our SRO celebration last week, and then we also talked about, we just got some news about some cancellations for tomorrow and the snow that's coming, right? That's coming. The winter storm is coming. So our evening session this evening, what I'd like to talk about is kind of start with the first question is always going to be someone who's logged on. Could you just let me know that it's coming across okay and we're sounding okay visually? You can see and hear and everything. I just want to make sure we got a new camera system. You know, we switched up. It worked well this afternoon. So, Michaela, great to see you. How are you? Michaela, could you tell me, or Maggie, can you hear okay? And is the camera, is the visual okay? No comments about the hairstyle or anything. Just is the picture good? But I would appreciate that. We had a good session this afternoon, and I look forward to spending some time with you this evening. We're going to go. Michaela, hey Chief, can you see? Hey Chief, can see and hear. Great, perfect. Matt, I don't know what we did with this new camera. It's perfect. So Matt's with me tonight. We're going to go through. We're going to try to be as open and transparent as we can. Talk about questions and our ideas, concerns, thoughts that come up. Michaela, thank you. I appreciate that. And just have some open discussion. I'll try to be, like I said, as open as I can. I don't want to say anything that's going to hurt any cases going forward or that are in the courtroom process now. I don't want to jeopardize anything. But I will try to talk about situations that I'm able to talk about, if that makes sense. I usually like to start out with a little bit about where we are crime-wise in our city, some of the challenges we're seeing, or what are our successes, what are our challenges. We're seeing trends, patterns up or down. Then I'll share a little bit about what's going on in our department. We just had a graduation. There was a big arrest on Friday. Where we're at with our recruit class that graduated, and the other one is right behind it, and the one that is getting ready, that we're seating the class right now, that will start in March, just a few weeks. So I'm excited about that. We'll talk a little bit about Black History Month, and then any questions that you might have. I'll try to hit each response that comes through. Sometimes it will jump if there are several responses come through at one time. So you may hear me ask, Matt, can you scroll back up or scroll back down? But I'm going to do my best to hit every one. It's been a long day today. We started out with a conference call this morning about the weather, the storm that was coming. We just got some news about, did you see it, Matt? The city's going to be closed. City's going to be closed tomorrow. Schools, they already made that announcement as well. Schools will be closed. So all that's about safety. Just please be careful. How the weather, the temperature, things that are going to freeze. If you have to be out, certainly hope that you don't have to be. So if you can stay in. But if you've got to be out, just please drive 10, 15 miles under the speed limit. It's kind of a rule of thumb. Take your time. Give yourself plenty of time, because it's not just you, it's other drivers and road conditions as well. Visibility, right? I don't know how much the snow, how heavy it's going to be. I've heard anything from, what's last year? I've heard 5, 8, 10 inches.
6 plus.
6 plus. So if I fall down, you can at least still see me, right, in the snow. So, so just please be careful, and we'll see what it holds. And one thing's good about snow in Virginia, it ain't gonna stick around very long. All right. I mean, wasn't it just like 60 degrees over the weekend, and here we are getting snow. So where I grew up, it was just snow plows, and it'll be fine. And here it's a little different. So I wonder, Matt, how much bread do you think's on the stand at your groceries right now? You think it's like a mad rush?
Probably running low.
It's probably running a little low. White Wonder bread is getting snatched off the shelves. So let me just say a couple hellos. We'll hit the top. I got a Kayla. Mary Beth, thank you. The mood lighting is great. That's perfect. Joy, thank you. Appreciate that. Kayla, we got. Wait a minute. What's Kayla saying? Somebody's birthday. Kayla, I hope shouldn't you be studying or something right now? Justin, hey there, Chief. Justin Dixon again. I hope your department stays safe and all the people in the community are safe. We're looking at a significant snowfall. I'm definitely calling off work, and that's very unusual. You all be safe, keep your family safe, and keep the department safe. God bless you. Justin, same to you, my friend. We were just talking about that. Not sure how much we're going to get and how long it's going to be around, but on the side of error, on the side of caution, I think that's a good thing. Take care of our residents, and if people don't have to be on the road, that's great. I certainly don't want those school buses on the road, that kind of condition. So making sure that our families and kids are safe. So let me start off with one of the favorite things that I get to be a part of is I want to come back to the graduation. I want to touch base on the crime. We had a rough year in 2023. We had a record-breaking year in 2024. We had a 50% reduction in homicides. We had a 28% reduction in non-fatal shootings. Homicides were like the lowest in 10, 12 years, and shootings were like the lowest in 25 years. It was phenomenal. Now, please remember that each one of those entry points, data points, is a person, an individual community. But we do look at that data, because if the numbers are going higher, then we got to change some strategies. And if the numbers are dropping, then that's things we want to double down on and really focus on and drive home. And where we're seeing successes in one community, we might want to try that in another community to get the same results. And communities are different, so it may need different tactics and strategies. I looked at the numbers today for each precinct. The city overall is about 27% decrease in violent crime this year so far. I know we're only 6-7 weeks in, but if it was reversed, we'd be having a different conversation. South precinct's down about 35% in violent crime. Central precinct's down about 27%, and I think North is down about 16% right now. So we look at crime every Monday and every Thursday at our Intel meetings, or our CompStat meetings, or Monday staff meetings. We're putting our eyes on that twice a week. We did have our first homicide of the year Sunday night. I got briefed on that twice today, so making some progress. We're still asking if anyone knows anything to please come forward. Regrettably, an individual suffered a gunshot wound and then succumbed to his injuries at an area hospital. And my heart goes out to that family. I know the detectives were up a lot throughout the night, so I got a full briefing this morning from Captain Petrosky, and then again about 2 or 3 hours ago, just kind of catching up on. Let me check in who we got. Let's see, is it Tricia Booth? I pray for those who have to deliver newspapers. My husband has to drive to Richmond. Oh, wow. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Safe travels to all who are to drive in this crazy weather. Kim, hello, Chief. Kim, how are you all the way from Seattle? How about that? What's the weather like in Seattle, Kim? It's a little crazy here right now. Tricia, you're exactly right. People being on the road. The first meeting I had today was a meeting about ballistic testing with firearms, and I was in a meeting with my friend Paul Newdigate, the chief in Virginia Beach, Steve Jenkins, the chief in Portsmouth. Had folks here, assistant chief from Norfolk, and detectives from Hampton, and they were telling me they think the snow is going to be a little worse on the south side across water. I'm not sure. I haven't. When I get home this evening, I'll take a look. But I'm going to hang out a little bit tonight, check on our officers that are working, make sure they're safe, and I'll kind of look at the weather tonight. But I'm hearing it's supposed to be a little bit, maybe a little further south you go, or in certain pockets. But they were telling me they thought it would be a little bit heavier snow over across the south side as opposed to what we would get. Akela, City Council meeting next week. Are you looking forward to us speaking? Yeah, so what Akela is talking about is, Akela is one of our young adult police commissioners. If you haven't heard me talk about that group, that is some of the most interesting teenagers in our city. We have a young adult police commissioner program. It is supposed to be a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior from each high school. 6 high schools, 4 students, that's 24. Somehow we got over 40 kids that we're working with. We meet with them every Wednesday. We break bread together, and we have debates. We work at the food bank. We do community walks, news outlets, and Matt and Kelly work with them on how to do interviews. We have open discussions between officers and young people. we're getting ready to do our forums where we'll go into their high schools. They'll facilitate a conversation. Myself and 3 or 4 other officers on a panel addressing questions that students have. So I'm really looking forward to that. And what she's talking about is at the city council meeting. Kayla, help me, right? It's the president, vice president, and treasurer or secretary. Is that right? That we're going to introduce yourselves to the mayor and city council. They'll talk a little bit about what the Young Adult Police Commissioner program is. Talking about bridging the gap between police and youth. I think a lot of departments look at how ways to do that. That's been something I think has been very successful for us. And just an example is we just had a graduation, a police recruit graduation Friday. At every one of our events, it doesn't matter if it's a recruit graduation, an award ceremony, a promotion ceremony, memorial service, national night out, we always have a high school student as a guest speaker. I don't know if you'll see that anywhere else, but a high school student delivers remarks to the academy, to officers who are going to be patrolling their neighborhood. And so we had a junior from Mitchellville High School, Melina, who gave remarks. We had the Warwick choir come in and sing the national anthem. I'll tell you a funny story. There's a couple of different things going on. We're going to touch on that in a minute. And the students were kind of like, are they going to get here in time? Do they need to rehearse? Are they going to? So the bus pulled up. It's about 20 till. And they come walking in, and, man, they are dressed to the T. They look phenomenal. And, man, they look professional. They're just, and like, okay, they're here, but or do they need to practice? And I asked one of the students, they were in line to walk in, like, do you guys need to rehearse or anything? And one of the girls in line, she said, Chief. She had this big smile on her face. She's like, we got this. And it was just funny the way she said it. It made me just completely decompress and like, you know what? I trust them. And they sang amazing. It was beautiful. So many comments. So that program is very beneficial. It's very near and dear to me. I love those kids, man. They drive me crazy sometimes, but they are good people, and they're going to go up and introduce themselves to the mayor, the leadership of our city, and talk a little bit about what they do. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Anna, hey Chief, I'm a little late to check in to see you. Anna, I appreciate that. Jennifer, good evening, Chief. Hope you all stay safe with this snow. Jennifer, I'm with you. It is very possible. Should I look this out of the bag? This is classified stuff now. What do you think? Jennifer, it is very possible with the snow coming and schools canceled. See if you can picture this. I'll try to lead you. School's canceled, so kids are out of school. Police officers, we're essential. We got to be here. It is very possible that you may see some very high caliber snowball fights in some of our communities tomorrow. Don't put it past an officer to get out, talk a little trash, and you see some snowballs start flying. So I may have to. You know what? I'll go start one myself and then run back to the car and take off and let the kids and the officers go at it. But we're gonna have a little bit of fun tomorrow. So Jennifer, if you hear anything about an officer getting hit with a snowball, make sure you validate it and stuff. But it could happen. Kayla, yes, us three will be up there speaking about what we do at YAPC, what we stand for, and what more we can expect from the community, I believe. Kayla, I think that's great. I think sometimes we anticipate or we think we know what youth want, and for you all to go there and have that conversation, this is what the Young Adult Police Commissioner program is, this is why we do it, and we want to see our city better, and we want to help to be a part of that and take ownership of that, of trying to make it better. I think a lot of people will be interested in seeing you. Matt, how did he even get on there? I thought I told you to screen this before they came through. So Skip, hello from your favorite Suffolk police officer. Hope you're doing well. So Skip, I hope you're doing good too over there across the water. I hope you enjoy your retirement from here, as I see you're over there in another department now. I don't know if you're doing much traffic enforcement. I've told everybody to be careful driving through Suffolk because Blanchard's over there. But man, I hope you're doing well. Really enjoyed the hockey night we got to go to with the vice mayor and hang out a little bit. Man, that was nice seeing you guys drop the pucks there and stuff. So I really enjoyed it. But yeah, it was good. I see Kayla already sees you. So just for people that are tuned in, take a look. Skip Blanchard's an officer that used to work here. He was a school resource officer. Last week was school resource officer day. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But Kayla is high school student, senior, and she's talking. Her words here are, "Our favorite, hey, Officer Blanchard." That's a high school student and a police officer, a relationship, right? Friendship that they made over the years. And Kayla's been with us and worked with us for years. Skip was a school resource officer at Warwick High School, and he cares a lot about youth. And that's the type of friendship, relationship, communication that I want. I appreciate that. Both of you.
She goes to a different high school.
Yeah, she doesn't even go to. Yeah, she does go. That's right. I'm not. Kayla bounces around. She's all over the place. And I liked at graduation, those high school kids, right? There were 5 or 6 of them that weren't in school. They came to see those recruits graduate. So I had to call Dr. Mitchell and vouch for. Yeah, they were here, Dr. Mitchell, but there were 5 or 6 high school kids that came to see one of their fellow students give a speech and see those 23 recruits walk across the stage. And that matters to me. That matters to me. Jennifer, you laughed. Jennifer, is that a picture of a snow? Jennifer, you laughed. You'll be like, Chief, what happened? Yeah, I got blindsided by it. It was a snowball, a flyby snowball. So let's talk a little bit about graduation. That's one of the funner things I get to be a part of. 23 recruits graduated Friday after 7 months in the academy, the tests that they had taken. I really bonded with this class. It was a good group. We took them out of the academy for a week, and we do, we try to talk about service, empathy, understanding, community, right, interactions, building relationships. We took them out. They read to elementary kids. They interact with individuals that are homeless. They interact with individuals that are suffer from addiction. We worked at the food bank. But what this class did was they built a playground. At the Dresden area Boys and Girls Club, South Morrison, they built a playground there on the property of the Boys and Girls Club. And you can drive by there today and see kids playing on that playground. And they'll be able to see that for the rest of their careers. And that's important to me. Hal and Rob Coleman were both at the graduation. They never miss one. And Rob, our newly elected city council member, he's chairman of the Police Foundation. He's number 2 in the Boys and Girls Club. Hal is the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club here in the peninsula and the area. And to see them, they were out there working with those kids too. And we showed a little bit of a video of the work they were doing. And then about midway through, them moving the concrete and moving the rakes and tightening the bolts and all this, and moving the lumber. There's this dance that they're doing, and I don't know, Matt, if it was the electric slide. I don't know what it was.
The wobble.
The wobble. You think it was the? It bothers me that you know what it is, Matt. Right? But I see him doing this dance on the screen, and I'm like, some of them got some talent, and some of them got some struggles, but they were all out there doing it together, and I loved it. So it was just great to see them. Like I said, we had the Warwick High School choir. They sang the national anthem. Melina, who is a junior at Menchville High School, JROTC, gave a tremendous speech. She really touched the hearts of people. I had a few words, and then families got to come up and pin their loved one. Tiffany Williams, an officer who graduated just a couple years ago, she was just featured. It was a Wavy 10, right, that did a story about her and challenges that she overcame to be a police officer. She was there for inspiration. The audience got to meet her. It was just a great day, and high school students being there in the audience, man, I was in my element. I felt very comfortable around those kids, and that's one of the funnest things for me, at least as a chief, is because I remember when I sit in that same seat, and I know the things that they're going to face. I know what they're going to deal with. They're going to see things that I wish no one ever had to see. They're going to respond to calls that I wish people never had to respond to. I talked to one of the new recruits actually today and her trainee, and they had gone on a call where an individual had suffered a heart attack or was deceased, and they had to respond to that. And I just, right out of the gate, you're already seeing some things that impact you. And we talk about mental health in this profession. I want to make sure that there's a balance and stuff that they experience. Psychology tells us that stuff is always in our mind. We can deal with it, whether it's through our faith or some type of outlet, hanging out with our friends, our family, physical activity, decompressing, meditation, whatever it might be. I don't want them to deal with it in the right way. I don't want them just to keep it internal and have it build up and never address it. I think that's important. So certainly one of the things here, and I think police departments across the country are really focusing on the mental health and well-being of officers. That's important. So yeah, I just had a few minutes with her, asked her if she was okay, and her and her training officer, I just got to spend about maybe 5 minutes with them in the hallway, but it was pretty quick. The first thing they talked to me about, and then we had a conversation about it. So I'm very proud of her. She's a great recruit. He's one of the best field trainers we have, so I was very proud of that. I mentioned, I should have, Skip tells Kayla hello. Last week was SRO Appreciation Day, and we have 13 school resource officers in every high school, every middle school, and they try to spend a little bit of time at the elementary schools, but I don't have an officer at each elementary school. But I want to take a minute and just thank the school resource officers that we have for the work that they do. Not only keeping the school safe, but they build relationships with faculty and staff, and I don't just mean the teachers, faculty and staff of the school, and also those students. Whether it's a mentor or a friend, someone they trust, someone that they say hello to, someone encourage them. It wasn't too long ago that we had our young adult police commissioners and police officers in a room, and they were having a discussion, expectations from each other. And one of the commissioners, one of the students, said, you know, I trust Sergeant Goss, and I call him for advice. He's a mentor to me. And I understand that impacted Sergeant Goss quite a bit. And I will tell you, you couldn't have a better mentor. You couldn't have a better friend. But it's obvious that he touched that commissioner's life, right? And I like that. I think that's important. So I just appreciate the work they do, you know, the stuff they do in the community, the basketball games, the football games, when we get around and mess around and playing a little pickleball or a little dodgeball. I got a school today that challenged the police department to a dodgeball game. Oh my gosh, but I enjoy that, and I enjoy the stories that they tell. I like going to the high school football games or an event, and a student will come up and talk to me about their school resource officer. This afternoon, one of the students that used to work with us in that commissioner program is now in college, and he texted and talked about his school resource officer, Sergeant Booth, up at Woodside High School. That's important to me. So I think we have some of the best. I appreciate the investment they make in young people, and I appreciate the relationship we have, certainly with Dr. Mitchell and the school system. But I will be doing the open forums in March, right? So about a week, we'll go to each high school, Achievable Dream. I think that's where we're kicking off at. In Warwick, Woodside, Heritage, Minchville, and Denby, right? That's just, yeah, we'll be at each one, and I'll have panel members with me, officers from different divisions. Special victims is usually a hit. That detective talks a lot about social media, things that you post on media, not only that you say, but photographs that some people might put on social media. There'll also be someone from forensics, and she's usually a hit as well. When they talk about DNA and fingerprints and crime scene, all that CSI stuff, students seem to ask a lot about that. We'll have the SRO with me and officers of what it's like every day to be a patrol officer and respond to different calls. And my hope is that I really open it up and do a greeting, and then that the other officers are interacting, and those commissioners are helping field questions from the students. But some of the class sizes are 100 and 120 people at an auditorium, or they've been as small as 50 or 60 in the cafeteria. But I do that to engage, and our department engaging. I want the men and women here to know that we're going to value youth in our community, and I want youth to know that we value them in our community. So I'm looking forward to that. Also in the month of March, probably leading in a little bit to the month of April, I want to go to at least 3 Hispanic churches. I will need a translator this time. I'm working on it to help me a little bit, just question and answer. I want to do some outreach to our Hispanic communities, partnerships that we have. We have a great population of Latino in our community. I want them to feel at ease with this police department. I want them to feel at ease from whatever experiences they've had before. I just want to hear their questions and concerns, and it may take a little bit to open up. Then I'll tell them a little bit about our department. But I'm going to their church, if they will accept me, if they will allow me to come, I should say, to their backyard and just talk to them, just have a conversation. I think that's important. Let's just get back, make sure I hit everybody. Yes, they are the best, especially my SRO. Robin, good evening, Chief Robin. Thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate it. You were here earlier. You tune in a lot, and I really appreciate that. Ms. Cox, thank you. Thank you for making a surprise guest appearance at graduation. You drove all the way down from Richmond. I know you still got some ties here and some relationships in our city, and I appreciate you showing interest in those recruits in this city, supporting me. I just want to say thank you for that. It was really nice. I didn't know you were coming. You surprised me for showing up. It was really nice to see you here. Carrie is a community activist. She's known in several cities here in Virginia. She's helped us a lot with community relations. She did a lot to help us with setting on interview panels for us with chapter of the NAACP and our Use of Force Review Board. And just really, really appreciate the work that you did in Newport News and our community. I hope you'll continue. Know that you're always welcome here. So we talked about SRO Day. We talked a little bit about snow. We talked about graduation. That was a big day for me. I hope that we made it a big day. We had families here from California, from Florida, from Nevada, Las Vegas area. We had them all the way from Gloucester, Virginia, and right here in Newport News. Our department is very diverse, and so is our graduating class, not just by race, by background, male, female, background, different cultures that people have come from, different religions, right? A vast group of 23 that come together to serve the citizens of our community, the citizens here of Newport News. Doesn't matter your zip code or your race. We're here to serve you. And people who are willing to do that, to step away from their own families and serve other people, to serve something bigger than ourselves, that is why we do this job. And it's very humbling, at least for me, to be a part of some of the most talented men and women that I've ever worked with. You also may have seen we had a press conference here Monday. We made an arrest in a case that was about 7 or 8 years old. The disappearance of Carrie and Chloe Johnson. It was a case that started out as a missing person and later developed into what we believe to be a homicide. There was an arrest made sort of right towards the end of graduation. Carlos Johnson was taken into custody. Girlfriend, boyfriend, and passed, but he is the biological father of that beautiful little girl. So now that whole situation will take place and carry out in the court of law. I was able to talk to Kira's sister, Tier. We had a short conversation Monday evening. It was important for me to hear her voice and for her to hear mine. She was one of the first families that I met when I moved here to Newport News. Mr. Gwynn introduced me to them. We talked about this case, and it did take a while. But I stress, I think Detective Amber Rogers and Aaron Thornton just did an amazing job. Their determination. Never, never, never give up hope. Because things don't happen right away. Some cases, the evidence is there, an officer's right around the corner. It's all captured on video. It's all in a nice package. In some cases, take much longer, maybe even a decade. But those cases stay open until we close them. So I know we can't bring anyone back. I know we can't make up for lost time, but hopefully we can add a small piece of closure to their family. Sergeant Ross at the time, now Lieutenant Ross, did a tremendous job of all these pieces, putting everything together and typing it up, submitting it. I think there was 20 or 21 binders that were submitted over. It's going to be a tremendous case, but it's now in the courtroom. And yeah, so and while we were at graduation, Chief Kresel and his team had laid out a couple different strategies of how that arrest, once we were given the go-ahead, would take place. And Mr. Johnson was stopped in a traffic stop, I-64 towards the J. Clyde Morris exit. He was taken into custody without incident. There were no problems. And now, so we did have that press conference yesterday. We were joined by Jason Miyares, the Attorney General, and several prosecutors in Mr. Gwynn's office and myself. And for me, I just kind of wanted to let the family know that they matter to me and they haven't been forgotten. And we will go through this the best we can and let it play out in a court of law. Who we miss? I got there's one before. I got Carrie. Okay, Ivory. Good evening, Chief. Everyone, please be safe. Ivory, thank you. I appreciate that. Rhea, hope you're doing well. Hope your grades are well. Hey, boss. There are several hot spots downtown that seem to be increasing in severity and activity. What support can NNPD provide to ensure seniors, youth, and citizens overall can feel safe in their neighborhoods? One of the hot spots is only a couple of blocks from DSA, but there doesn't seem to be consistent police presence to deter activity. Yes, prayers of the family made their life. I got you. So, is it C? Is that how you C? So, you'd have to give me some. I'm not sure when you talk about you seeing activity. Perception matters. I can tell you that South Precinct had the lowest reduction in crime last year, and they're right back at it again this year so far into the first part of the year. Our homicides are down from last year, which was a record year. And I know we're only 6 weeks in, but I know, whatever the stats say are one thing, whatever the numbers say, that's evidence and data driven. But your perception, when you say activity, what type of activity are you talking about? Are you talking about speeding? Are you talking about larcenies? Are you talking about gunfire? So the data may be different, but if your perception is, I'm not getting a lot of calls about spikes in crime. I'm getting calls, continue to get calls about, Matt, the number one call I get is about speeding in our city, it's about traffic. I'm not getting a lot of calls, so C, can you maybe tell me, and I hope I say the right word, direct message it maybe, or if you can put your number, I'll be glad to call you, what kind of incidents you're talking about, because it's important. I know that we just went through a building today that we were afraid some people may have been staying in that's been condemned. So you may have saw some extra police presence down there this morning. They went through a building for about 2 hours with police, code enforcement, fire marshals, just to make sure we didn't have people inside a building for their health, to make sure that they were okay. I do appreciate the prayers for the family, and that means a lot. Thank you. Latoya, hello, Chief Drew. I'm very proud of you. Latoya, thank you. It means a lot. I'll tell you, though, it's the people I work with, the men and women here. I mentioned Lieutenant Ross, Amber Rogers, Aaron Thornton, the detectives, the forensics, our dispatchers, patrolmen who respond to the scenes, who start everything rolling. It's also the men and women who work behind the scenes, right? It's our recruiters who get people here. It's the academy staff, the recruits that are there. Our records division here, and the chiefs that I have, the assistants that we have to keep us on track to make sure. I was actually in a meeting in my office, and my assistant Brittany, she said, you're supposed to be on Facebook Live in about 10 minutes. So I ran over here, and Matt was tapping his foot, checking his watch, making sure I was coming. So I appreciate that. But I'm really humbled to work with such a great city, great community, and while I'm here, great partnerships, right? The Commonwealth Attorney's Office, the fire department, our city council, our mayor, city manager Alan Archer, my boss Bill Clayton, the assistant city manager over public safety, our state, local, and federal partners, Riverside Hospital, Centera, the Boys and Girls Club, a tremendous partner, YMCA, our libraries, human services. I get asked sometimes, Chief, what's the biggest thing that you think impacts crime or makes cities safer? And there's not one entity. The common element that does it is people who have a heart. You take a fireman who cares, a Commonwealth attorney who cares, a teacher, a school teacher who cares, our school system, Dr. Mitchell who cares, a police officer who cares, someone in human services, CSB. Those people make the difference. And having compassion, and empathy, and understanding. But it's also holding people accountable. Those that take advantage of other people, those that commit crime, they have to be held accountable for what they do. People have to be involved. Citizens who see something and hear something and pick up a phone and let the proper authorities know that what's happening, or what they maybe a domestic that you see in the parking lot. Well, I don't want to get involved. No, get involved. At least call us and let us know. Maybe write a license plate down and share with us. Those things matter. Marie Bank, thank you for Marie, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here with us this evening. Today this is a pretty good part of the day, Matt. It's going to be cold tonight, snow tomorrow. I'm going to loosen my arm up for I can pack a pretty mean snowball too, buddy. Yeah, it's I do want to see people be safe, but I bet you have some incidents of fun tomorrow at some locations. Chief, we got an officer who I can just hear it now. Marie, thanks for being here tonight. That means a lot. This profession is challenging, and the best part about it is that you get to interact with people. Sometimes we get invited to cookouts or whatever, but for the most part, when someone dials 911, they need help. And for men and women to respond to those situations and interact to try to make things better, I think is extremely valuable. Earlier today I had a meeting, two individuals out of state talking about recruiting. We were talking about strategies and, Chief, what are you seeing and what is it that you want? And I'm like, for people to come into this organization who think outside the box, that are creative, are hard workers, and care about people. All this Batman belt and the policies and procedures, we can teach you all that, but I can't teach people how to care about other people. Teach and show you the benefits. I can show you how treating people with respect and vice versa, you can accomplish a lot of things. But if you treat someone with a lack of respect, how things can be very much more challenging and confrontational. Michaela, Chief, I need you to put a good word in for me with Sheriff Gabe Morgan for his scholarship opportunity. Michaela, I'll be very glad to do that. Sheriff Morgan, a good friend of mine. I had a lot of conversations, a lot about youth. He may already know. I may have told him a little bit about you to keep his eye out on you. So he may have heard of you already. But I would be glad to do that for you. One of the things she's talking about, one of the promises I make to the seniors is anything I can do to get them where they want to go. If it's into the military, a particular branch, if it's into the workforce, whether it's meeting with someone, write a letter of recommendation, helping them get into the college, if they're choosing, writing them a letter there, reaching out to the colleges they want to go to. I think that's important. And I will tell you, it's the group that comes back and interacts with us. I appreciate that. They remember where they came from. I got to talk to Citizens Academy that just started last week. I think there were about 20 individuals. Monica White does a phenomenal job. But all walks of life that come into a Citizens Academy. They meet for about 9 weeks and they learn about the department. I always get in trouble because when I talk to them, I get excited about talking about this department. And Monica's got this big long hook. She's like, Chief, we got to get them out of here. It can't be here until 1 in the morning. I'm playing. But I really enjoy talking about what's going on in this department. So yeah, I got to spend a little bit of time. I followed Aaron Watkins. It's a hard challenge to follow, man. He was talking about recruiting and the size of our department, and then I just got to come in and talk about what our overall philosophy is of this police department. So one of the benefits we have, we hire a lot of retirees or a lot of people part-time that can do some of the other jobs for us. They do such phenomenal, part-time because they do it so much quicker, right? All that experience they got. But I think that helps us a lot in things that they do. Anna, if you go out tomorrow, make sure you wear a beanie. The snowballs can be hard on your head. Well, first, Anna, I would bob and weave. It'd be hard to get me. See, I would move. What is it they teach in the academy? Duck and cover, right? Duck and cover. Robin, in my town, Galveston, NHPD, their motto is, if you see something, say something. Robin, I think that's a big motto everywhere. If you see something, say something. If you see something, call someone, get involved. I don't think you have to go out with a sign and say, I'm the one that called, right? But there's so many ways, whether it's a text message, an email, a phone call, dialing 911, sending a message over the airwaves, and before things happen, right? So if male and female are arguing in the parking lot and you see it start to get physical, that's the time to call. Not wait till somebody gets hurt and drives off. But yeah, just taking ownership of your neighborhoods. I don't want I don't want people to be afraid of where they live. I don't want people to be afraid to go outside because of things they see in their community. That's what I see. I don't want you to have that perception or that feeling. So if there's issues there that we need to move and get on top of, I want you to share that. I want you to share that with me. I can at least get that to the precinct, so that the beat officers or the district officers who are responsible for geographical areas, can focus in those areas or in those type of calls. I would ask that when individuals have concerns like what time, location, what are you seeing there? I get a lot of calls about speeding in location X. And the next questions I'm going to ask is, what time of day? How is it ongoing? Is it youth? Is it racing? Is it those type of things? Is it a certain day of the week? Is it just on the weekends or just on Tuesday morning? Jennifer, you have lots of snowball making practice being from Ohio. Jennifer, that's true. In Cincinnati, we had the forts, right? The best was when the plows came through, and the big walls would be on the sides, right? That would be our forts, and we would go at it. Joy, best Arsit. I don't know about all that, but I appreciate that. We'll skip right over that. Matt. Buckley, Chief, why was the volunteer unit? Does that mean dismantle? Is that what we're saying? I can tell you, when you say volunteer unit, we have a tremendous amount of volunteers. Anna Whalen oversees that group. Her, Monica White, Miranda Eccles all kind of work together with that. We have a Citizens Academy. I think she does two Citizens Academy every year. One senior Citizens Academy. We do one, if not two, youth academies in the summer. We have a tremendous volunteer program. Our volunteers take part in our bin etching. They take part in our role playing at the academy. They take part in our active shooter training. Our volunteers do sit on our use of force review board. Several volunteers participate and help us in our promotional processes. We use volunteers to screen new applicants when they come in. So, my friend, I would say it's probably bigger now than it ever has been. I didn't know if you were talking about like reserve officers or if you were talking about citizens. But we have a very elaborate group of volunteers, and I would even counter that with high school kids that we've worked with that have gone on to college and come back and work with us or do things with us in the summer. We have a pretty big volunteer program. That's one of the things I'm really proud of that we have here. So, I'm not. When you say, I'm assuming you're saying dismantle, but my gosh, it's huge. It's huge. So we have a Citizens Academy, and then we have a Citizens Alumni Academy. So those are all individuals who have gone to the Citizens Academy and graduate, and they work a lot with Anna and really fill in a lot of the holes in our department. They do a great job, but our volunteers are huge. They play a tremendous role, and I'm appreciative. Monica, Miranda, and Anna do just a great job with the outreach in our. Matter of fact, we have a Hispanic Academy that's starting. I think it starts in March, so I'm excited about that as well. Partner a lot with Oasis Church, and that's all. That academy is all in Spanish. So all of our, I shouldn't say all, several of our Spanish-speaking officers participate in that, and I get to interact. That should be a good group. I look forward to that starting. Angela, I did a ride along a couple weeks ago in South Precinct with Officer Langford. Is an amazing officer, professional, respectful, patient. Oh my goodness, let me read all this. A great teacher, wealth of knowledge. He's epitome of what a police officer should be. I always love being able to spend 10 hours every 6 months. Thank you, Chief Drew, for allowing citizens to do this. It's truly an eye-opener and just a small glimpse of what these men and women deal with on a daily basis. I'm thankful for Tyler and the rest of the police department who sacrifice daily for citizens. What was her first name? Was it Ann? Angela. Angela, first of all, thank you. I will tell you, I know the officer you're talking about, and he is outstanding. Just tremendous officer. But she's talking about the ride-along program. First, if you want to be an officer, you have to do a ride-along. You have to ride with someone, so you kind of get a feel of what it's like. And then I want to talk to you a little bit about that experience. We also offer the ride-along program to citizens who want to know what it's like to get that call and what dispatch says. what those officers are thinking when they're responding to, how they're talking on the radio, the different calls that they go to. I think she summed it up. Some of the calls you go on, I wish people never had to experience. But I am thankful. I am thankful that we have men and women in this department, in this country, in our state, that are willing to address those issues. That matters. It is not. I don't take that lightly. And Chief, you know what? I do not take that lightly. I appreciate the men and women and what they do here. It does make a difference. What they do matters in this city. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate you in doing the Ride Along program and getting to see it. I hope you share it with other people, talk about your experiences, but I will tell you that Officer Langford does a tremendous job. Robin, I sent a few snow pictures through Messenger from New Hampshire. Yeah, now I will tell you, Robin, I'm sure the snow here does not rival New Hampshire. However, I will bet you that when you get some snow flurries up there in New Hampshire, you're going to school the next day. We get some snow flurries here, it may be 2 days before we go back to school, my friend. So that's one benefit we got, right? But no, I can imagine. I'm gonna have some fun tomorrow. I'm gonna bring my warm winter gloves, my snow packing gloves, and yeah, it could be some neighborhood fun tomorrow. But you're welcome, man. I appreciate that, and thank you for the comment. I appreciate that. I talked a little bit about the different chiefs I was around today as we were talking about gun violence and technology, to tell you the truth. And we're always talking about how do we do things better? How do we recruit better? What's some good training? Have you had some training here? Let me show you the training we've got. Hey, maybe we could, that's important. Well, you can never rest. So we had a great reduction in crime from 2024 compared to 2023. Well, now we're in 2025. Nobody's talking about 24 anymore. What are we doing this year? So we got to continue to push, to build relationships, to build partnerships, to reduce crime, hold people accountable for the crimes they commit, make quick arrests, not rush to judgment, but be able to disrupt. One of the things I worry about the most is retaliation. Oh, you did this to my friend, now they're going to do something to your friend, and then it escalates. We got to break that cycle, right? We got to break that cycle. Continue to build partnerships. Our grassroots organizations do a great job. Violence interrupters, if you will, the conversations they hold. Had a few conversations late Sunday night into Monday morning. People getting involved. But yeah, we're always. What do we do better? I'm excited about the recruits that are going to start the class in March. I'm excited about the recruits that are going to graduate in June. I just had a blast at Friday's graduation. And then we continue to, this year we're really pushing training in our department. I was meeting with some line level officers today. We were just talking about different trainings that we want to see and build. And because of that new academy we have a lot of entities that want to bring training here to Newport News. And I think that's a tremendous benefit. Like, hence the training, the meeting we had today with about gun violence and technology to address that, being able to compare ballistics and evidence of firearms at crime scenes quicker and faster, more accurate. That a gun here, a weapon here, evidence left behind might be traced to another incident in another city, but the same firearm was used. So that it gives you, it doesn't mean someone's guilty, but it does give you a place to start, right? It does give you a place to start. Kayla, I will be speaking at the graduation in June. Kayla, are you asking me, or are you telling me you've already decided that? I think you've done a graduation before, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I mean, have you spoke a couple times, I think, for us, if I'm not. I think the last one you memorized your speech and just let it flow. Yours was very. I remember, if I recall, the judge leaned over like, is she reading that, or did she just memorize that? So yours was pretty impressive. But is that a question mark, Matt, or an exclamation point? So she's making a stance right there. Is she calling me out on Facebook and telling me what?
Sounds like it's the sun.
That's what it is. Kayla, hope you ain't walking around Denby tomorrow. I might have a snowball just for you. So if a snowball comes through the air and then a car drives off, might be me. Yeah, we'll definitely have to talk. I'm also excited. I was talking about partnership with the youth. Also excited about the STARS program. We get to work with youth there that learn about putting on a case in front of a judge, right? So there's some on the prosecution side, some on the defense side, a group of judges that come together and attorneys. They work with kids. Ms. Jones, Shannon Jones, our city attorney, we partner with her. She kind of oversees it, and attorneys help her as well. And what she's done is she's got some officers, if you will, to be role players, whether it's neighbors or pastors or actually officers reading a report. I might have made my acting debut, but yeah, it's always fun to interact with the kids, and I see the kids in that program want to come back and help the other kids. They talk about it a lot. Yeah, I think one thing about when we focus on youth, they can see through authenticity and I'm just here. They want to see consistency, and I think that's important. So when we talk about, I may tease Kayla and give her a hard time, but she means a lot to me. I'll be speaking. Oh, okay. Yes, but I want to give one last speech before I go off to college. That's right. Yeah, you're graduating this year. And have you decided on what college it's going to be? Are you still in high demand? Is it like a lottery, like a draft day for you? The highest bidder? But yeah, I think we can make some. We'll make something happen. We got a lot of events coming up where we're going to need speakers. We're going to have a memorial service. We got a graduation, an award ceremony. Hope to do that. I think we're shooting for that in April. So there's definitely going to be some opportunities. And it is always fun when the chief of police is and I was kind of hinting. I don't know if you had to call me out what role I play. I did not get any awards for that, and I don't think when people laugh at you, it's I don't know that was like, hey, great job. I think they were laughing at me. I don't know. But it is a great program, and I think Chief Hires did a much better job playing the pastor than I did. He was great. Elizabeth City State State University, or Virginia Union University. I'm stuck between those two. Virginia Union, huh? You know where Virginia Union is at? Kayla is in Richmond, Virginia. And I spent 25 years up there. I know a lot of friends up there. That's good. You got a whole department that can keep an eye on you. I might call Virginia Union tomorrow. That would be good. As a matter of fact, the college is right across from the police academy up there in Richmond. It's probably a good place for you. Well, Matt, we're at 6:53, my friend. I think we had a good, for me, it's been a good conversation. We joke a little bit about snowball and weather and stuff, but I do want to encourage people, please be safe. If you're able to stay off the roads tomorrow when they start getting bad, please do. If you have to be out, just don't be in a rush. Leave plenty of time. 10, 15 miles under the speed limit if those roads are covered. It's hard to see that ice, and not just the way we're driving or the way that other people are driving as well, right? You want to give your time ability to move, not get too close. For the police department, fire department, we're going to be essential, so we're going to be here. I usually get an officer too, like, hey chief, the city's closed, are we off too? In a joking way, right? But no, we're all essential. Joke with the Chief Rogers, my friend, the fire department, we're all essential. But yeah, I just do please be careful. Kids being out of school, and yeah, just be safe. Again, I do want to appreciate if I didn't press conference we had yesterday with Mr. Gwen, Commonwealth Attorney, and Jason Miares, the Attorney General, that came down. It was awful nice of him to make that trip as we talked a little bit about the arrest and the case going forward, and reaching out to the family of Kieran and Chloe, and hopefully giving them some comfort, some closure, if you will. I think a lot about the meetings that we have, whether it's a domestic violence support group that we have, the homicide support group that we have, young adult police commissioners. I think we're trying to put together. Matt, I don't know if I put it out there this afternoon, but I think we're trying to put together a town hall type meeting, if you will, something with the NAACP, something with youth maybe. Looking forward to that. Jennifer Brooks has gone through our Citizens Academy. She's the president of the NAACP. She attends our use of force review board. She's a member of that. So I'm looking forward to some partnerships with her coming up. So yeah, those relationships matter. Rhea, Chief, you need to come to Old Dominion University. Yeah, I know that's where you're attending. The major you have there. I hope your grades are doing well. Ms. Cox, I appreciate that again. Thank you, Carrie, for showing up at graduation. You didn't have to do that. You made the trip, and it means a lot. I know you still have a lot of ties here and officers that you've worked with, and some that you've been instrumental in through promotional processes that were promoted when you were on the board. Thank you for helping out with the conversations we have about community interacting and your dedication to police and community relationships. I appreciate that. Michael, congratulations being elected. Oh my gosh. You know, just when you think you can get off, remember the Godfather movie? Just when you think you're out, they pull you back in. So my friend Mr. Coker, congratulations, he says, for being elected to the president of the Hampton Roads Police Chiefs Association, sir. Mike, I appreciate that. The Hampton Roads Chiefs of Police Association, or Chiefs of Police that make up the Hampton Roads area, James City County, Hampton, Poquoson, 7 cities, right? Portsmouth, Chesapeake, Suffolk, Norfolk, Virginia Beach. All the federal agencies attend. State Police, Coast Guard attend. And we move the meeting around. We meet every other month. And Mike is right. I was elected. Is that the word we're going to use? Elected as the Hampton Roads Police Chiefs Association president. I would just say this. And one of my first rules, one of my first executive orders is, going forward, you got to be in the room when the election takes place. I learned my lesson. You got to let that sink in. You got to be in the room when the election takes place. And my vice president, Steve Jenkins, I know he would back me on that because he was out of the room too. But that's all right. But I appreciate it, Mike. It is an honor. Get a little nervous working with other jurisdictions, but I am happy to talk about our department and what we can do, collaborate going further. We talk about different technologies, trainings, what we can learn from one another. So it is a great group. And we've talked about having our own town hall meeting and really investing in the lieutenants and sergeants that are coming up behind us, that we want them to experience and look at things. I would love for the lieutenants and sergeants in our department to hear what Portsmouth's doing, to hear what Suffolk's doing, to hear what's going on, what Chief Newdigate's doing over in Virginia Beach, and what Chief Talbot's doing in Norfolk. And I would like to share what we're doing with the recipient of those reciprocal of those same departments and some of their lower supervision. I think that's important. That's the future, right, of policing. So, Mike, thank you, and yeah, we'll have a conversation about the election process later. Robin, have a good night, Chief. And Matt, yeah, there you go. Thank you for your service. Robin, thank you. I know Matt's ready to hit the road. So we're going to be signing off here in just a minute. Rhea, happy? Yeah, thanks, Rhea. Matt, you should have screened that one. So thanks for spending a little bit of time with me this evening. This is fun for me. Excited, one, that Matt finally got us a new camera in here, and we didn't have any electrical problems. I didn't touch anything. Nothing messed up on us. We didn't have to shut it down and reboot. Technology's always changing, and we tried something new. And yeah, so far so good. So thank you for your time and the interaction. It means a lot. I ask that you would just continue to keep those loved ones in prayer that we talked about tonight, their families. I ask, please be safe. Enjoy the snow tomorrow, and please be careful. With that, I'm going to sign off. God bless you guys. Have a great evening. Be safe, and we'll do this again next month in